Today we're going to be taking a look at Big Ditch's Lock IPA Series number 11, called Feeder. This beer features hops of Citra, Nelson, Sauvignon, and Galaxy, and it clocks in at 7.5% ABV. If this seems like something you'd be interested in, then stick around and I'll show you what it looks like. Hey guys, Brian with Buffalo Beer Reviews. Like I said in the intro, today we're going to take a look at the latest IPA series, the Lock IPA series from Big Ditch. This is all the way up to number 11 already. Some of my favorite beers coming out of Buffalo have the Big Ditch name on them, and even more specifically, some of them are the Lock IPA series beers. Do you know what I mean? Like FIP and Packet and Cannon Call, and just really great sort of beers with that Erie Canal history to them and stuff like that. I'm using my phone to record, so I'm going to give you a little history on this beer from the laptop in the background. It says the Lock IPA series explores the range of fantastic flavors that can be found in hoppy beers. A feeder is an artificial channel used to provide supplemental water to a canal. And some of these Erie Canal feeders were navigable themselves. Lock IPA series number 11 feeder is laced with lactose, driven by the trio of Citra, Nelson, and Galaxy. This is an IPA for drinkers with a sweet tooth. It features aromas and flavors of gooseberry, pineapple, and candied orange, and finishes with a full and creamy mouthfeel at 7.5% ABV. 16-ounce cans of this can be purchased from Big Ditch for $14.99. I can't believe it, and I'm done apologizing for having such a popular opinion, not unpopular, but a popular opinion. Some of these new breweries and their pricing strategy is extremely frustrating, and you have a name like Big Ditch, prime location downtown, proven success with a formula, with a business model, with the beers they brew, still releasing hoppy beers with expensive hops for $14.99 a piece. Take all the notes that you want when you're sitting up in Orchard Park or over on the west side with your stupid prices. I'll be down at Big Ditch buying their beer all day long. Let's take a look at this thing. I'll step down off my soapbox now. Sorry about that. Feeder from Big Ditch. Take a look at this thing. And it's got this really, really great, robust and dark orange sort of body. It's got this inner hue to it. Do you know what I mean? Trying to see if I can look at it from your side. When you got some backlighting, it's got this real deep hue to it. It's orange. It's that deep sort of looking haze to it. You can't see any daylight through it. And it gives you this really great white, tiny packed bubbles in the head. Do you know what I mean? And you are met with a really aggressive, robust orange and citrus flavors. I'm getting lots of orange. I think lots of orange and grapefruit. It's kind of hard to distinguish those, the citricality of it just from the aroma alone, but it's pretty nice. And it does suggest to you a little bit on the sweeter presence through there, and I'm not sure if that's the pineapple that they were talking about. In all honesty, I don't know what a freaking gooseberry is. I don't know what it looks like. I've never had it, so I'm just gonna sweep that off to the side. I don't know what a gooseberry is. But you see this, you get the release, drive downtown, I'm from Clarence Center, driving downtown, pick up a 4-pack, maybe have one on tap there. You get it home. You read about it, this is what it looks like, this is what it smells like. You get super pumped about having a beer like this. So let's see what it's like, right? It is wicked. The aroma is very immersive. You get your nose and you get your palate in there, and it kind of engulfs your senses, right? And it's a pretty logical follow through with again, these full and well-rounded citrus flavors. And then you finish that first sip, and you do experience that sweetness that they were talking about. I don't know if that's the lactose or whatnot, but you experience this really great sweetness that just smooths everything over in the entire beer. It's really an enjoyable experience. And then I think once you experience that, once that's under your belt, kind of disarms you a little bit for your further sips. Like, all right, I kind of know what I experience. It continues to be smooth. It continues to be this orangey, almost like a creamy sort of sensation. It really does. Great mouthfeel. Still with, yes, the sweetness, the pineapple are absolute. Those are not hard to come by. And then I think that plays well with the candied oranges as well. The oranges, the zesty, the vibiness, a little bit on the dank side, but not a whole lot. Yeah, a little bit of dankness. I'm not going to dial that all the way up to 10, but it is definitely there. I think that whole smoothness, that whole sweetness, I think that just helps, cut and hide that 7.5% ABV, because that is very, very difficult to pull out from a beer like this. So you're telling me this is 7.5%, and then I just had 2, and I need to call an Uber to the next place. Well, yeah, so be it, and that's what it'll do to you. Really great. I feel like I'm relieved for Big Ditch on this series. I know there's been a whole lot of beers coming out with, the marshmallow, dry hopped beers and this and that, the other thing. And I really like those beers. And I was hoping that their Lock IPA series wasn't going to be sort of falling by the wayside. It seemed like I had to work for one of the releases, and I only had one of the others, and I was only so-so on one of them, maybe like 9 or 8. I forgot which one it was. So I was a little nervous. Like, I really like this line of beers. And when I had this series, when I had this feeder, I was relieved. I was very happy that they put that sort of attention and that sort of work behind this release, and I was really happy. It showed me that they care about that Lock IPA series, and it's just as competitive with the beers around town as it ever was. Do you know what I mean? Very, very nice beer. What else? It finishes well. I thought it might be a little on the sweeter side, just a little bit more on the stickier side in the mouth, but that is not really the case. It finishes and it washes through pretty nice. Let me do it again, though. Yeah, you do still get a nice little kind of kick in the gums with that citrus. It's not sticky, it's not sugary, it's not overwhelmingly sweet, but it does dissipate pretty quickly, and you're not left with anything weird in the aftertaste realm. Very robustly and full on the medium-bodied, I'd say, spectrum of the beers that I have. I think a lot of these are just medium body. They're just really well done with the medium body. I would do this again for sure. There weren't any sort of lines when I was there. I do believe kind of the way Big Ditch does it. It's like they kind of have their beer releases at the brewery. That was last week today, and then starting around today, like a week later, then you're going to start to see them out at the peripheral sites, like your consumers, like your Premier Gourmets and stuff like that. So if this looks like something that interests you or piques your curiosity, I don't see why this wouldn't be readily available to purchase around town. So that's it for me, guys, and a little look into Big Ditch's feeder, Lock IPA series number 11. I'm happy. I hope that you guys can tell, you know, the content over the video and stuff like that. And you know me, I really appreciate the clicks and the watches and the thumbs up and the comments and all that nonsense. And I will see you guys in the next one. Cheers.